Yes everybody, I am back, and yes, this is another red top. We're going to turn this rusty absolute piece of shit into the Vectra's race car engine. This is the XE 2.0. Let's build a race engine!
Fixing Shit with Jester, brought to you by Club Racing UK in association with Vehicle Tech Mobile.
I thought I'd give you a little walk around this fine specimen that I've been supplied. As I say, rusty is the most flakiest bag of shit I've ever seen. And it didn't turn over at one point, but after some lubrication in there, down the bores, it turns over. So we need the block out of this and the crank, because we got the old block with a massive hole in it, and the crank that's absolutely shagged as well. The rest of it is probably spares, but hopefully the inside of that is alright. I'm praying this is alright. I haven't got an absolute freaking clue what shape this is in, so fingers crossed it's going to be nice and plain and simple. We take it all apart, pop down the engineers, get it down there, and then get them to do their little bits and bobs and all the regrind and sort the head out that's over there as well, and then we come back and put it all back together, and maybe make the block look a little bit less brown. I've apparently been asked, can we make it look shiny like I did with the other one? So that's going to be an absolute fucking challenge, and away we go. So let's rip another engine down. Now, I am pretty intrigued to see if there's any oil in it, or if the oil that's in it is hanging. So, grab a couple of spanners, I'll do a sump, see what treat comes out of here. Whoa. Here we go. Oh yes. Did anyone order Mississippi mud pie? Oh dear. Oh dear me. Oh, it's thinning out a bit. Oh, that is absolutely horrendous. See, I told you, I haven't got an absolute clue how this is gonna be. And we're not off to a great start. It's thinning out though. I would say it's becoming oil. I wouldn't really say it's great. But what did lead me to this horrendous possible situation? Oh, is that water? What the fucking hell is that? Is the plugs whilst that's draining somehow? Is the state of these? Where has this thing been? They're bloody brown. Oh, it's draining. I don't know what. Oh, it is quite oily, but that is not very good, is it? Fuck's sake! What the hell? Why do I end up with all this shit? Quite literally. Oh, at least it's oily now. Right, now we've discovered it's been lubricated by sludge, I now need to get this thing apart. I am praying that the crank is fine after seeing all that being pulled out of it, and the bores are fine, because when I first got it, it didn't really turn much. Took a little bit to get it moving, but not a lot. So, tunes on, let's rip the beast down! We are getting there. So I thought I'd point out a couple of things whilst I'm here. One, this has had some sort of Marvel engineering done to it. That shouldn't look like that. That should be one piece. And I don't know what is going on there with the two-piece woodruff key situation. But the other situation is this doesn't go onto here. So the version of this I have doesn't actually, just get rid of that little washer on there. This doesn't go on here. That's massive, that's tiny. So I don't know what's going on there, not really sure. So then the next thing is that at some point of its life, I think it's had a bit of snapped cam belt smash valves against pistons here, 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 here. So that isn't too great either, but luckily we don't need them. And the next problem, I found out why it wasn't turning over, because in there is really pitted, and I don't know if that's going to be all right. Might have to see if that hones out. If it doesn't, well, might have to see about sleeving it. But yeah, this doesn't look too pretty in there. So it might be nice and shiny like that, and that is shiny, and then it just goes to like rust basically. It's really rusty. But we keep going, get this thing completely emptied, and then make that decision. The beast is empty. Empty as it can be. And this was the piston that was stuck. And it just wouldn't come out trying to get that out. I was hammering it. Really not the norm, but luckily we don't need it. And yes, it is not happy chappy. And over here they've had the valve piston situation, or someone's taken a die grinder to that by the looks of it after it must have made a bit of a mess. It's had quite a life, that. Look at the damage on there. I reckon cam belt's definitely gone. Look at the state of that. But yeah, in here is my worst problem. Is in here is where all of that pitting is in there, where it's just so rusty, and it's like sandpaper. It's not good. That's not good. But I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna hone it. I'm not hopeful about it, but I'm gonna try something. So let's give it a hone and see what it looks like. Well, some magic can happen. That'd be pretty good, eh? Let's keep going. It actually is slightly better, like only slightly. Let's try a bit more. Do you know what? It's actually, whoa, it's not bad. It's not brilliant. Like, it's not great, but oh, it's a toughie that when the rest are all nice and shiny. Obviously this dulls it anyway doing this, but yeah, I'll try a little bit more. Okay, honing the bore hasn't really done much. I think the corrosion warriors are really on our case on this one. It's not going away. So that's going to have a trip down the engineers, and I think we have to sleeve the block and then get that skimmed, and then that will fix that problem. But the plot thickens. Over here we have the crankshafts. This is the one out of it. This is the broken one that we can't use anymore. Just play a game of spot the difference. Notice anything? Count the holes. Count the holes. It's not the same crankshaft, is it? And apparently this is out of a Saphira VXR, possibly. So I don't know what that is either, because I had a little scour around where the engine code would normally be here, and there's nothing there. Because normally, well, it's here, but there's nothing there. So I don't know what it's from, but it's all the same. I did some measuring and it's all pretty much there. But now we don't have a crankshaft. But the people of the Vectra build that have been viewing all this, you have prevailed. Adam, twin Corsa engine guy, that thing's pretty insane, has sent us another crankshaft in this box with, looks like he's shredded his tax return. In here is another crankshaft that's already been machined, ready to go. What an absolute saint. So that's one less thing to do. I think now let's get all this, that engine block, that head, loaded in the van, take a trip down my local engineers, DNR James, and let's have a little quick chat with them and get this bloody thing sorted out. Everything is back. Finally, after a little bit of time waiting, we got the head back. That got a light skim. The valves under there were machined in because we tried to cut them by hand, did not work, so I sent it back. They sorted that out for me because it just wasn't sealing. Oil pump, this is the one originally off the donor engine. This has been stripped. And then SPD Motorsport have provided us with a nylon cap version, another spring, and then you can adjust it with the washers that aren't supplied apparently. But they give you all the information on here. SPD Motorsport are really good. You go on their website, they've got loads and loads of instructions and everything. So you're happy with whatever you've got. And some sort of guide if you've got no technical data. So we got an oil pump down there. We now got a baffled sump. This little beauty, little gates in there. That's pretty cool. So sort of washing up the size of the bore. And then over here we got some H-beam rods now fitted. New piston rings. They had to be Omega piston rings because the standard ones don't fit. And the standard ones are slightly thicker, and these Omega ones are slightly thinner. And then the last but not least, one refurbished engine block. No, that's not the one, that's the old one. It's definitely got a hole in it. I patched up the hole. It has been fully sleeved because they were all slightly out of spec, and after a discussion with them over the phone, I said, you know what, just do the whole lot because we don't want anything to happen. But it has been cleaned, all the bungs have been removed. Down there, there's another one in there. Everything has been washed. All the bungs in here have been taken out because there was swarf all in that head. There was swarf everywhere in there. Of a right old cleaning session, and the crank here that we've got provided. And after discovery, this is the lighter version, which is even better for us. So it's time we're going to put this whole thing back together. Just point out something very quickly. Anyone building one of these C20XE engines, this situation at the end. Now, it was leaking oil very slightly before it exploded, only a little bit, but I found out why. This is only a C20XE thing. The crank seal there's instructions here, because at the end of it, on here, this end cap, you have to sealant silicone here, but then when it's torqued down, you then have to get the sealant gun and squeeze it down that hole until it oozes all out of here. That I didn't do last time, just sprayed it all in there, wedged it all in. That's not how you do it. So before anyone else makes that mistake, head over to SBD Motorsport and get all the instructions. Let's carry on. As per instruction, just over the gap and then squeeze in there until it appears from top to bottom. That is a lot of pressure that needs. Pistons are in. It's happening, it's coming together. That's a shiny. Next job, oil pump. New front crankshaft seal and new water pump. Okay, sump is on. That is only on for transportation needs, as Nick has the gasket / windage plate. Before we put it back in the engine, we're gonna slap that on, but I can't have that pickup pipe bent. I might as well keep it and chuck it all on. Next job, let the head meet the block. next, hydraulic buckets, cams, front seals there, this cover, then pulleys, timing belt, rocker cover, and it's looking pretty. Look what I've created. This is the XE 2.0, new and improved version after we over-revved the other one and exploded the oil pump and then killed the block. It lives again. So I can now get the gearbox married up to the engine, get back to Nick and get this back in the car and turn the key and end this journey. It's been an absolute disaster from the start when it exploded at Castle Combe and we're all hands in face. What we're gonna do? We just spent all that time and all that effort building it, but now we've got this new and improved beauty ready to go. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button down there and press subscribe to keep up to date from everything from me, Steph and Nick and all the cars at Club Race UK. I'll see you next time. Bye.